And with that, a good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back home to Maine's biggest and fastest, Wiscasset Speedway.
Thank you, Ken. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. A great start right there to kick things off. They are still 2x2 all the way through the field, but Scott Eck wants to go 3 wide as Scott Wiggin gets a little sideways down the backstretch that time and loses 1 spot. Wiggin in the 26 gathers it back up. Scott Eck in the 27. And now Eck is going to go to his high side and try to finalize that pass. But back to the front, it's Landon Tapley leading the way. Just had that pre-race interview with the 25 of Landon Tapley. Certainly hoping that can bring him some luck tonight. He's holding him off for the time being with Alex Cromwell all over the rear bumper. Dan McKeag Jr. is going to fill the inside if Cromwell can't make it happen. But so far, going into 3, Cromwell's bringing it up to the passenger side door on Landon Tapley. And making it a 4-car mix is going to be the rookie in the 31, Chuck Wagstaff. Tapley this time is still holding him off, coming to the halfway flags. Nice job by the 25. The 2 Scotts are still side by side for the top 5 honors. Scott Wiggin and Scott Eck continue going into turn 3 at the halfway marker. Dan McKeag Jr. in the 40 certainly capitalized from Cromwell in the 96, trying to go to the top side of your leader. Cromwell couldn't make it happen, and he falls back to 3rd. Four cars still just about bumper to bumper, and then it's a ways back for the top 5 honors, currently held by Scott Wiggin, with 2 laps left for Tapley. Ethan Dinsmore in the 8X now, just outside the top 5, as Scott Eck falls back to 7th, and finishing out the field is Brady Romano. White flag in the air. Can Landon Tapley be a heat race hero this evening? Like I said, I gave him a pre-race interview earlier on, and I'm certainly hoping it brings him luck tonight. Nice job by Tapley. Let's go racing with qualifier number 2 of 3 for the Spotlight Strictly Streets tonight. And you don't see that very often. A nice jump from the top side. And it is Caleb Emerson Maines already checking out to about 5 car lengths on Jeff Minchin in the 3. He's got a rear view mirror stacked full behind him. Caleb Emerson Maines just got his first Strictly Street win a few weeks ago. At Wiscasset, at least that is. And he is jumping out in dominating fashion earlier on in Heat 2. Minchin still trying to hold him off, but here comes Sean Emery in the 13, taking a peek to the high side, going into turn 3. Emery's going to make it stick now for the time being. And then also closing in is the 20 of Joe Harriman. Will he commit to the high side as Emery finishes the pass on the number 3 of Minchin? And Harriman is knocking on the door. Oh, things are certainly looking to get exciting as Wade Kennedy in the 00 is tempted to go 3 wide. Harriman makes the pass on the inside, and Wade Kennedy follows up through. Halfway flags are out. Emerson Maines checking out to a substantial lead. Sean Emery is 1/10 of a second slower on lap time, so he's not closing in. Caleb Emerson with a best time of 17.4, and Sean Emery's best time is 17.5. Oh, we're going sideways in one. Wade Kennedy gets into the back of Joe Harriman in the 20. We're going back racing. As Joe Harriman gets to restart back up in that third position. And we'll see if he has anything for Caleb Emerson Maines and Sean Emery. Currently holding on to the back end of Emery right now. Harriman's going to get to the inside before Sean Emery can get down there. And Joe Harriman is going to take over second place now. Glacier in the 99 is going to try to close the gap as well and prevent Emery from getting to the bottom. White flag in air. Caleb Emerson Maines is looking to lead this one wire to wire. And Sean Emery's going backwards in a hurry. He's throwing anchor up on the top side. This one's coming to a close with Caleb Emerson Maines. And we're going green with qualifier number 3. And surprisingly, Kurt Hewins was caught sleeping on the start for that one. Definitely not usual territory for the 55, but he's fighting back hard on the top side of Matt Cannon Jr. And they're going to go door to door through turns 1 and 2 for the top spot. Matt Cannon Jr. in the 08, Kurt Hewins in the 55, and the most recent winner in the 34, Ashton Burgess. Hewins goes awfully wide in turn 1, but he'll get a good run out of turn 2 and come back wheel to wheel alongside Matt Cannon. Close quarters for the top spot. These guys are really going at it. Still nose to nose with Hannon and Hewins. And Burgess is ready to pounce in the 34. Doesn't get any closer than that. Nobody giving an inch. And they're banging through turns 3 and 4, coming to the halfway flags. Matt Cannon Jr. has had quite a few tire marks on the passenger side of his car this season. And he just got a couple more from Kurt Hewins as Hewins finally takes command. Kurt Hewins certainly had to work for that one on the top side, but he finally gets it done just past halfway. And now Ashton Burgess wants to move up to second and take it away from Matt Cannon Jr. We want to welcome the 20 of Garrett Leiter on his first time out this season, not letting that top 3 get too far out of his sight. Two laps left for Kurt Hewins. Last time he was out here, I believe he finished 3rd in the feature event. He's looking to pick up heat race number 3. White flag in hand as Hewins has a sizable margin on that second place battle. Second place is still yet to be determined with 2 corners to go between Matt Cannon Jr. and Ashton Burgess. Here we go, coming to the checkered. modifieds are underway. And it's Steve Reno from the outside in the 7, taking command over Bobby Meesemer. And then Reno's son in the 77, Nick Reno, took a peek out there, but unable to make it stick as of yet. So Meesemer continues to hang on to second with some pressure from Nick Reno in the 77. And as Ken said, we want to welcome back the 2 of Ryan Robinson. He's putting on a charge with pressure on the backside of Nick Reno up into 4th, with Ryan Ripley rounding out the top 5 alongside Robinson. Steve Reno looking in the rearview mirror, loving the side-by-side racing behind him, allowing him to begin to check out. Now Nick Reno breaks free from the pack. Can he chase down his dad, Steve Reno, in the 7? Here comes Ryan Ripley on the top side of 3rd place, Bobby Meesemer. Ripley will progress down the back chute and get a fender advantage on Bobby Meesemer. And Ryan Ripley's gonna get it done, putting the 09 up to 3rd. Meesemer back to 4th. Ryan Robinson hanging strong in the top 5. Ryan Ripley is gonna try to chase down Nick Reno as he cracks the top 3. Ryan Ripley able to click off a 16.1 versus Nick Reno's 16.2. 1/10 of a second separates those 2 rivals. Steve Reno way out front. His best lap time is also a 16.12, and he does not have any pressure from anybody coming up behind him. White flag is in the air. Looks like smooth sailing ahead for Steve Reno in the white number 7. He'll see the checkered flag this time as Ryan Ripley breaks into the top 2 on the final lap. And we're going green with the Chestnut Auto Roadrunners. Oh, this one's a slow dance for sure. That was a slow start. Certainly keeping everybody bunched up, and Kyle Enman in the 1 is the one trying to take advantage of it. Slicing and dicing 3 wide. We're just about 4 wide going into turn 3. Everybody's making it out alive. Here comes Chip Farrington. He won the first 3 events back-to-back-to-back of the season. And then, as Ken mentioned, the most recent one is Noah McGrath upsetting that hot streak by the 02 of Chip Farrington. And this is what you get with some slow cars starting up front. Everybody's slicing and dicing 3 wide, trying to get the fast cars to the front and sort things out. And the Roadrunners are certainly putting on a good show. Logan O'Done still leading the way with some heavy pressure from David Whitelaw and Ken Turner. Kyle Enman in the 1 loses 4th position to Chip Farrington last time around, as the 02 is looking stout, already catching that top 3 pack in a hurry. Chip Farrington showing these guys why he won the first 3 events in a row. He is quickly on a charge for the front, taking third away from Ken Turner now and setting his sight on David Whitelaw. Farrington continues to progress. He's just about taking second place away from Whitelaw, and O'Done is kind of boxing him in there in the 99. I'm wondering if these guys are playing strategy and trying to set up a pick. That's not going to phase Chip Farrington. He's going to go up into the marbles in the third groove and see if he can find some traction up there. Oh boy. The front pack is tightening up once again, and we've only got 2 laps left. O'Done continues to hold him off, but here comes Chip Farrington. Way up in the marbles once again. He's making that third and fourth line work. The most recent winner in the 30, Noah McGrath, climbs up into the top 3, and we're going to see white laundry in the air this time. Chip Farrington takes the lead away from Logan O'Done as O'Done gets squirrely through turns 1 and 2, but he hangs on to it. McGrath is putting the pressure on now in the final 2 corners. Farrington is going to see the checkered flag this time. And second place is slamming out of turn 4, but McGrath takes the spot in the closing feed. We're going green this time. Another fabulous start, but Dinsmore gets sideways in 1 and 2. He saves it, but he's gonna start losing positions. Silas Ripley gets by, Alex Waltz and Jonathan Emerson as well get by Dinsmore. Tough break for the 81 of Ray Dinsmore. Right off the bat, he was holding strong alongside the 26 of Brent Roy, but he got all sorts of squirrely through turns 1 and 2. Ray Dinsmore is going to finally find a place to settle in, and it's going to be 7th position before he gets in line for the 81 car. Oh, Ray Dinsmore is having a tough day today. He's going to check out of this one and head pit side. Brent Roy continues to lead laps, followed by Silas Ripley. And then it's Alex Waltz holding down the 3rd position with no pressure from Jonathan Emerson. And then it's Pat Murphy rounding out your top 5 at halfway. Five laps left, and Silas Ripley is closing in on Brent Roy. Ripley able to click off a 16.2, and Brent Roy doing 16.3. Oh, this time around they both clicked off a 1/10 of a second. Last time Brent Roy did a 16.2, and now Silas Ripley down into the 1s. 2.5 laps to go. This time at the line, they'll see the popsicle sticks in the air. Brent Roy and Silas Ripley checking out. Silas Ripley looking for his first checkered flag in a late model. Brent Roy has had a couple of them. We've got the white flag in hand this time. Ripley closes up the gap. Down the back chute, just 2 corners to go. I think he's gonna run out of time. This one's gonna get tight. Brent Roy takes the checkered flag. Yeah, Tiger Colby picking up the last 2 out of 3, but that other third race, where did he finish? Well, it was second for Tiger Colby. He is on a hot streak this year, coming in late in the season. And it looks like for the heat race, Colby's just going to ride around in the back, as he's only worried about where he finishes in features this season, not running for points. Connor Wenners continues to hold him off as they run side by side in the rearview mirror. Frankie Moulton on the top side, Chris Burgess in the 47. And then we have a 2-car battle for 4th and 5th between Daniel Harding and Brett Osmond. Will Collins is closing in as well on the top 5. Halfway flags will be in the air this time for car number 4, Connor Wenners. And second place is still inseparable between Burgess and Frankie Moulton. A couple of magnets between second and third place. Brett Osmond gets enough courage to go to the top side of Daniel Harding this time. And Osmond wants to progress into 4th position. Osmond had a nose advantage on Harding that time. We got trouble for Will Collins. He was right up there in the mix, but he falls off the pace down the backstretch. Your current points leader. Trouble for your current late model points leader. Will Collins drops out of this race early. He's got 2 feature wins this season, and he's out of qualifying. White flag in hand. Connor Wenners, can he be a heat race hero? Don't quote me on it, but this might be his first late model checkered flag. Here we come out of 4. We're going green with the Outlaw Minis. And there's smoke coming from the 08 of Kyle Willett. Let's hope that one can hold up for the evening. As Ken mentioned, Zach Audette sold his ride. Ian Fraser sitting pit side with troubles this evening, and it's not looking too promising for the 08 of Kyle Willett as well. And it's also not looking very promising for Wyatt DePietro. He pulls the 3 down on the grass on the inside apron under his voluntary willing, bringing it down there. Kyle Willett, your current Outlaw Mini points leader, sitting pit side. Unable to rejoin the heat race. So we're going to finish this one out without him. And it's Jason Kimball in the 12X leading the way. Side by side for Wyatt DePietro and Jeff Farrington for second and third. Halfway flags are posted for Jason Kimball. 5 laps to go for our Outlaw Mini Qualifier, brought to you by Kennebec Equipment Rental. DePietro goes for a spin all by himself. Well, there might only be 2 cars, but that's all you can hope for with a restart with only 2 cars, is them staying tire to tire for a whole lap. Two laps remain. Jason Kimball finally clears the 0 of Jeff Farrington. White flag in hand. Wyatt DePietro will be granted with 3rd, Kyle Willett with 4th. And here we come with our top 2. Jason Kimball and Jeff Farrington.
And now our drivers. In the number 57 out of Farmingdale, welcome Andrew Glenn. Next up, in car number 20X out of Livermore, welcome Garrett Leiter. In car number 2, making his Wiscasset debut out of Lisbon, welcome Dale Lawrence. Next up, your winner of heat number 3 and a former champion in car number 55 out of Turner, welcome Kurt Hewins. Your most recent winner is there in car number 34 out of Waterville, welcome Ashton Burgess. Next in line, your point leader in the division coming into the weekend in the 08 out of Washington, Mac Hannon Jr. Next to him in car number 23 is a 2-time Strictly champion out of Sabattis. In the number 23 is Zach Emerson. Starting in the 15th position, the 1997 heavyweight demon champion here at Wiscasset Speedway. And the number 34 out of Jefferson, it's the Pumpkin King, Ed Pierpont. Starting 14th in car number 3 out of Pittston, welcome Jeff Minchin Jr. Starting in the 13th position is car number 13 out of Leamington, welcome Sean Emery. To row number 6 on the outside, starting in 12th, is the 00X. Out of Sebago, welcome Wade Kennedy. To his inside, starting 11th, in car number 99, out of Appleton, welcome Jeremy Glazier. Up to row number 5 on the outside, starting in the 10th position, in car number 20 from Montville, welcome Joe Harriman. To his inside, starting in the 9th position, driving car number 4 from Richmond, welcome Caleb Emerson Maines. Up to row number 4, starting on the outside in the 8th position, out of Livermore Falls in car number 78, welcome Brady Romano. Starting in the 7th position, in car number 27, out of Lisbon, welcome Scott Eck. To the outside of row number 3, starting in the 6th position, in the number 8X, out of Hope, welcome Ethan Dinsmore. Starting to his inside in the 5th position, All the way up from Somersworth, New Hampshire, in the number 26, welcome Scott Wiggin. Row number 2 sets up this way on the outside, starting in the 4th position. In car number 31, the rookie from Boothbay Harbor, welcome Chuck Wagstaff. Into his inside, starting in the 3rd position. In car number 96 from Westport, welcome Alex Cromwell. Into the front row, on the outside, starting 2nd, in the Naughty 40, out of Gorham, welcome Dan McCaig Jr. And coming off his first career checkered flag in a heat win, in car number 25, starting from the pole position, out of Washington, welcome Landon Tapley. That is your starting lineup, folks. Let's get our drivers strapped in and ready to race.
Take it away, guys.
Drivers, start your engines!
Wave those hats, wave those hands, small children if you want. Let's get these Strictly Streets ready to go. 35 laps tonight at Wiscasset Speedway. Lights are off on the Norm's Used Cars Ford Mustang pace car. That means we are going green this time. 35 laps tonight for the Portland Glass Strictly Streets. Landon Tapley and Dan McCaig Jr. Pace car is coming in, and here come the street stocks. Green flag is out. We are off and motoring through turn 1 and 2. Even up down the back chute to turn 3. Tapley and McCaig side by side for the lead. Cromwell waits in the 3rd spot. A little bit back to the 26 of Wiggin with Wagstaff on the outside in the 31. That is your top 5. Scott Eck in the 27 holding off the 78 of Brady Romano. They'll go wheel to wheel for 6th. Back in the middle of the pack, they're 3 wide, getting by the 3 of Minchin. Dan McCaig tiptoeing up the outside lane with the lead over Landon Tapley. A lot of cars wadded up in the middle of the pack from about the number 20 of Joe Harriman back, then the 27 of Beck on the outside. You've got Kennedy and Emerson Maines side by side, the 0, 00 and the 4. They get it all sorted out. Still a great battle up front by a couple of young drivers wheeling it for the lead. Tapley a little strong in the turn, made some contact. Dan McCaig finally able to make the pass. Back behind them, they're 3 wide as Joe Harriman got out of shape in the number 20. Watching the top dogs deep in the field trying to pick their way through the traffic to get to the front. Right now, no help. They're 6 laps in. Make it 7 this time by the stripe. Three-car breakaway, then to the 26 car of Scotty Wiggin. He's going to have some company now as Wade Kennedy is picking his way through. Caution flies for the 4 of Caleb Emerson Maines as he got turned around. He was mired in some traffic mid-pack. Wade Kennedy times it just right in the 00. Up on the high side of Scott Wiggin. Here comes Harriman in the picture as well. Things getting really tight in the middle of the pack. They're tangled up 3 wide there in the middle of the pack as the top drivers are trying to exercise patience, but it's tough when you're trying to get to the front. Kennedy finally able to get the 00 car into the top 5. Wade started back in 12th, and he's raced his way up to the 5th position. Wagstaff back to 6th. Brady Romano doing nice in the 78, running in 7th. Joe Harriman 8th. Ed Pierpont 9th. And Mac Hannon in the 08 car running in 10th. Again, 3 wide in the corner. Harriman is having difficulty, and so is Ed Pierpont. Things really getting gnarly back there from the 34 car back. Wade Kennedy now working outside of Wiggin, able to grab the 4th position. Wiggin back to 5th. Problems for Zach Emerson in the 23. He is off the pace. He was already a lap down. He's going to stay out there just to collect whatever points he can, and as long as that car will hold together. But tough break for the 2-time champion in the 23. Looks like he may be just getting up out of the way and letting everybody race through. Wade Kennedy wanting very badly to get up into the podium position to celebrate with his friend Dan McCaig if he's able to. A couple of Beech Ridge guys. There was a really nice article in the local papers on the McCaigs and the Kennedys making the transition over here to Wiscasset Speedway and finding a new home here at Maine's fastest track. Good racing in the early going here out of the Portland Glass Strictly Streets. Halfway this time by. A lot of racing around the 26 of Scotty Wiggin. Got Ed Pierpont up on the high side. That's a race back there for the 5th and 6th position. Pierpont now into 5th. Nice move from Kurt Hewins into 55. He was a full fender underneath the 31 of Wagstaff, but wisely backed out of it. Resets up on the high side where he is definitely comfortable. Races around Wagstaff. Now we'll work on the 26 of Scotty Wiggin. A little bump and run over there in turn 3. Kennedy able to get by the 25 of Landon Tapley. Trouble into turn number 1. As the 20 of Joe Harriman goes around. We are off and running. McCaig retakes the lead, brings Kennedy with him in the second. Cromwell trying to hang on. Here comes Kurt Hewins. Again, they're 3 wide mid-pack. Ashton Burgess looking for room. Brady Romano spins down the backstretch. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. Wade Kennedy got a great jump and drives around his buddy Dan McCaig Jr. Kennedy from 12th and up into the lead with 22 complete. 23 this time by the line. McCaig settles into second. Cromwell third. Nice run out of the 96. And once again, they're 3 wide back in the middle of the pack as Wiggin is falling back through the middle. Burgess has to pedal it through turn 4. And Brady Romano again trying to stay out of trouble, ends up looping the 78. But we're going racing. Off and running. And we are headed into bonus time. 25 complete when they come to the stripe this time. Once again, 3 wide, and there goes Hewins up on the high side. No surprise there as Kurt Hewins says the pay window's open, and here I come, around the 40 of McCaig. Wade Kennedy already 1 feature win this year in the 00. Looking to grab his second victory of 2023. Alex Cromwell gunning for a career best. Ed Pierpont looking to come in and grab some hardware for the first time in a long time. Kennedy with a comfortable cushion now. Over Cromwell and Pierpont. Hewins runs 4th, McCaig 5th. Dan McCaig Jr. quite a save. Cromwell as well. Pierpont comes up into second. Hewins trying to help him. Inside the final 5. We'll make it 31 complete this time by. One guy that's kind of come out of nowhere keeping up. Oh! Hewins got into Pierpont, and that's going to scramble things and a heavy hit for the 99. Oh, Kurt was getting a little impatient. Let's try to get this one done. We've got 4 laps to go. Green flag is out. Off and running they go. That inside lane overpowers them. Kennedy brings the 4 of Emerson Maines up to second. Cromwell settles into third. Another guy who has all of a sudden come out of nowhere is at 13 of Sean Emery. Inside the final 2. But we've got a caution flag out for the 57 of Andrew Glenn. We are off and running once again. Cromwell and Tapley still in the mix. Little contact. Emerson Maines wasn't quite clear. Almost went 3 wide. Tapley wisely backs out of it. May cost him a top 5, but it won't cost him a race car. White Laundry is out. 1 lap to go. More trouble up in turn number 1. We will finish under caution and checkers. Leader took the white flag, so we finish under caution and checkers.
Kennedy climbs out of the double zero. Win number 2 for the season. Wade, it was a long ways to the front. It was definitely exciting and hairy at times, but once you got there, you had them covered on multiple restarts. You were untouchable once you got to the top.
Yeah, it felt good. The car felt really good. The past couple weeks, kind of tore it up, and my old man's put countless hours and setup and just trying to make this thing go good, and we finally starting to figure something out. So I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Briggs Contracting, East Coast Communications, Top Gun Construction, and all my family and friends that come out, my girlfriend, everybody, all the fans that make this happen.
Wade Kennedy, everybody, win number 2 of the season. And Alex Cromwell's all smiles. His first Strictly Street top 3. And he's joined by a lot of family member and a lot of fans in the stands. Awesome to see it. Alex, definitely needed that last restart because Emerson had you passed, and then the lane choice swapped for the next one, so gave you an advantage to get underneath him for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. It was not running so good on the outside. It was real loose the first half of the race, and it got really tight midway through, and then I got loose again at the end. So there's some weird stuff going on, but finally made it to the top 3. You know, I don't know if anyone's ever happy about second, but I'll take it for sure. It's been 15 years since the last time I was in Victory Lane.
Yeah, he said you were in the teen class, 2007.
I was 12 years old. 12 years old, 2007. That's awesome.
All right, Alex, who do you want to thank on the 96 ride?
I got to thank my awesome wife and my boy Parker for always supporting me. Long nights in the shop. I got to thank Greenleaf for spotting. Did a heck of a job, buddy. That was awesome. I got to thank Hardman's Auto, Layback Lumber, Coastal Race Fab, James Osmond. He did a lot of work to this car, and he's made it come to the front for sure. And everyone, my father, Logan Melcher, Corey Carew. I had a ton of family here tonight, so thank all of them as well.
All right, Alex Cromwell with his career best Strictly Street run. And then it's Caleb Emerson Mains. Definitely didn't want that last restart, but that was a wild save through 1 and 2. Glad you held on to it.
Yeah, that was. It was. I had to work today. I felt like I fell back to like 30th at one point, and we made our way back through. I thought I was gonna get Wade there at another half a second. I think I could have got inside of him, but he treats me well. I'm gonna treat him well. So I gotta thank the crew. They gave me a really fast car once again this week. I gotta thank all my sponsors: Yankee Yardwork, CZ Plumbing, Emerson Racing, JLM Landscaping, Pownell Fuel, RPM Racing Engines, the best in the business. Ben Bailey Excavation, Portland Plastic Pipe, Tires in Motion. I'm sure I'm forgetting more, but everybody in the pit that helps out and supports us, and all these fans, thank you.
Caleb Emerson Mains rounds out the top 3 this evening, everybody. Alex Cromwell with runner-up honors, and Wade Kennedy, win number 2 of the season to wrap things up in Coastal Auto Parts Napa Victory Lane.
Contact from the drop of the green flag. Nick and Steve will go at it wheel to wheel through the first lap. Steve finally able to grab the lead. Nick will settle into second. Wheel to wheel for third has Miesemer in the 21. Robinson in the 2. Chadbourne and Ripley will just have to wait to get things sorted out up in front of them. Yeah, looks like a broken tie rod end on the 2 of Robinson. Able to slow it down, and great job to hustle that car down pit road. Left front tie rod broken. As we keep it under green. Ryan Ripley able to drive out around the 221 of Bobby Meismer. That'll put Ripley into the 3rd spot. Chadbourne looking to follow. Passing flag out on the 8 of Phillips. Just let him know the leaders are starting to close in on him. Got to keep your lane. Ripley the fastest on the track out of that trio. 0.2 faster than both the 7 and the 77. Chadbourne able to finally get around the 21 of Meismer. That puts the 1 car into 4th. Here comes Ripley up the outside rail, getting out around the 77. These two have put on some good races. Oh, problem for the 7 of Steve Reno. They both have to check up, and Ripley able to... Oh, now some contact. Ripley hard into the wall. Something amiss on the 7 of Steve Reno. Ripley trying to get around him, but Reno trying to get up out of the way, or something breaking on that 7 car, and Ryan Ripley will get our safety crew up there to check on the driver of the 09. All right, our safety crew letting us know that the driver is alert and talking to the safety crew right now. Got the wind knocked out of him, and all that safety gear doing its work. Reno coming into the weekend second in points. Adam Chadbourne, your most recent winner. Bobby Meismer trying to get on the podium for the first time this year. Nick Reno was the winner on week 2 of the season. And looks like Nick may look to take over the point lead here in the division coming following this race. This time by halfway, 15 down, 15 to go. Ryan Ripley had 4 wins. Adam Chadbourne with 3 wins. Nick Reno looking to become Another repeat winner. Jeff Meserve running in the 4th position. Complete this time by the line. Chadbourne patiently waiting in 2nd. Nick Reno knowing he's got to keep that bottom side covered. These two drivers have had some great battles over the last few years. Now Chadbourne looking outside. Chadbourne not able to make the top side work, so he settles it back down into 2nd. Bobby Miesemer patiently waiting there in the 3rd spot, able to keep pace with that lead pair. The lap speeds have slowed down a little bit as Reno is trying to protect that low side. Meserve actually doing a nice job keeping that lead trio in check. A lot of improvement out of that young driver. Now Chadbourne again going to try the outside. Five laps to go when they come to the stripe this time. Chadbourne has tried the outside a couple times but can't make it work, and Reno knows he's got to keep that bottom side covered. They'll have 2 laps to go when they come around to the stripe this time. Bobby Miesemer staying right there with them now. Popsicle sticks up, 2 to go. White flag set to fly. Miesemer now steps out of line to try the outside. Nick Reno, 2 more turns. Checkered flag awaits. Reno will get the win. Throw a blanket over him at the line.
He's going to climb out, folks. Let him hear you make some noise, Nick Reno. Boy, oh boy, Nick. That right down to the end there was just turned into a defense race, didn't it?
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's better to drive smarter than harder, right? We didn't have much of a car all day. We tore it up real bad last race. We spent the 2 weeks rebuilding it, and we struggled with everything. Changed everything in it in practice. Come to find out the right front A-frame was ripped out of the frame. So we welded that up, and the car was the opposite. It's because we made all the changes and we shouldn't have. So we'll get it back. I never thought I was going to win this race tonight. Once Adam was out there, but I know he's going to run me clean, so I just hold it on the bottom and hope he goes to the top, and I knew he wouldn't bump me because that's not the way he is.
All right, Nick, any sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, Marty Hill and Son Painting, Dale Reno Construction, JBRH Excavation, DMD Racing, Steve Gerard Photography, Bob Berry Concrete, Reno's Excavation, Redline Racing Engines, my amazing wife, my son, my crew, everybody that worked their ass off to get this thing back here this week, and Adam Chadbourne for running me awesome as always.
All right, nice run, Nick Reno. And on to Adam Chadbourne. Oh, just tried the top side so many times, that must have been getting frustrating.
Yeah, I feel like we were a little bit faster, but he was a little bit loose and I was pushing, so between the two I couldn't get a set line out there, and I just need to finish the race. We're running out of race cars to race with, so.
All right, Adam, who do you want to thank on the one car this week?
Well, I'm going to thank Bobby first off, because I feel like probably he could have had me a couple of times. I'm going to thank my friends and family, Richard and Vanessa, for having a wonderful racetrack, place for us to race. Lynn Springs, Shop to Shore Carpentry, Dresden Takeout, Shad's and Son Towing, Monterey Restaurant, Farley's Cannabis Farm, Norm's Used Cars, Napa, Structure, Midcoast Glass, Oliveri Subaru Repair.
All right, that's it from Adam Chadbourne this week, folks. First last week, second this week. And we'll move on to Bobby Miesimer. Bobby, is this your first top three?
Well, this year's my top three. We've had a couple other ones prior years, but if you didn't like that race right there for third, in the words of Kyle Busch, don't come. That was awesome. I had the best seat in the house, and man, what a show Adam and Nick put on. I should have made my move about 5 laps earlier, but I need some confidence.
Yeah, I was going to say, did it come down to the last 2 laps that you were able to make a move, or were you being patient trying to save it for the very end?
Well, the whole time on the radio, James is in my ear, try the outside, try the outside, try the outside, and I was just following Adam. 10 laps ago, I wish I would have listened to him. I got to thank James. He's put a lot of time into this car, and he's got this thing coming around. I got to thank my wife. She puts a lot of time in, too. I got Chris and Eric over in the pits, my father, my parents, all the kids. This thing's finally here, I think.
All right, awesome run, Bobby. Certainly made things interesting coming out of the final corner, but falls short just by a fender for third place tonight.
Green flag is out, and we are off and running with the Roadrunners. And not too difficult to see 3 wide back in the pack already as those top drivers from the last race trying to be the first one to get up and into the lead. Logan O'Done showing the way with Ken Turner second. David Whitelaw third. Chip Farrington's already halfway up through the field into fourth. Couple cars together in turn 4. That was the one of Kyle Inman and the 57 of Jason Meserve. Off and running once again. Logan O'Done showing the way. Ken Turner second. And Farrington and McGrath starting to come into the mix. Farrington sliding up through turn 3. Some contact between the lead pair, O'Done and Turner. And here comes Chip Farrington along the outside. He and Noah McGrath. Chip Farrington trying to match Ryan Ripley with 4 feature wins this season, which will be tops at the track. Ken Turner hanging in there nicely in the 79. Noah McGrath on the outside looking in on the podium spots. Farrington got a good run into turn 3 that time. And just may come out with the lead. Chip Farrington turns the fast lap of the race that time by 19.513 seconds, just a tick over 69 miles per hour. Side by side for second, Noah McGrath. He's been in the podium spot each race as well as Farrington. Problem for Odone. He has to pile on the brakes. Ken Turner, nice evasive measures on the 79, but might end up costing him a podium spot. Turner coming back strong, though, in the 79. Closes back up on the 99 of Odone. This time by 10 laps to go. Halfway for the Chestnut Auto Roadrunners. This is the 5th of their 6 races this season. They've got one more happening in September on Group 2 Fan Appreciation Night. Noah McGrath not able to bite into that lead by Chip Farrington. Matter of fact, Farrington has thrown down a best lap of the race 3 straight times around the track as he's down to 19.175 seconds. 4 laps in a row that he's had a best lap of the race. McGrath is your second place car. He has been having some transponder issues during this race, so it is the 02 of Farrington, then the 30 of McGrath, then the 79 of Turner running in third. Logan Odone has slipped back from the lead pack, now running in fourth, in danger of losing that spot to Kyle Inman. Farrington got it sideways into turn 1. Great save on the 0-2. McGrath up on the wheel and closing in a little bit. But 2 laps to go this time by. Working their way by the 78. Final time down through turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag is ready to fly. Chip Farrington will get the win, McGrath second, and Ken Turner will come in to grab the third spot.
All right, Chip Farrington, everybody, win number 4 out of 5. Noah McGrath so far this season has been the only one that can get another Roadrunner win, but Chip, getting by lap traffic there right at the very end. He nicked you right here and got the thing sideways. That must have been sketchy.
Yeah, that scared me there for a second, but we hung on to it luckily. Yeah, we broke some wheel studs in the heat on the right front and got it fixed. So yeah, so it went good. I had a lot of fun.
Any sponsors you want to thank, Chip?
Freddy's, Ben Ashline, Ed Libby, Chris Hitchcock, Lee Brothers. Scott Adams is here watching me. Hi, Scotty, and his boy Matt. That's about it.
All right, Chip Farrington, everybody, win number 4 of the season for the Roadrunners. There's only one more points race to go for these guys in a few weeks. And Noah McGrath, we're glad to have you back up here in Victory Lane. Noah, you cut some of the mullet off, didn't you?
No, actually, it just looks a little different now. I just a little brushed down. It looks a little straighter.
All right, Noah. Yeah, I'm sure that you had a front row seat to him getting sideways with that lapper, and you were hoping that maybe you could capitalize.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be able to do something with it. It definitely made me a little nervous at first, but he swung it out real quick, and he was able to gain control of it. He took off right away, and I knew that it was just gonna be a chase again. But no, it was a fun race. It was a good one. I love coming here. It's a fast track, very competitive with all these guys. Yeah, I look forward to come back for the last week.
All right, Noah, any sponsors you want to thank on the 30X?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Graphics Coops, Gutter Shutter, TC Hafford, Basement Systems, Pizza Paris, my family, all you guys coming out tonight. Yeah, it was a good night, and I'm glad that the weather held off, so that was awesome.
All right, nice run from Noah McGrath. And then Ken Turner, I got a couple key notes to talk about. The 99 sure was making it hard for you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I gave him as much room as I could, as many times as I could, and I had to pinch it in there if I was going to get by. So.
And then, Ken, if I remember correctly, last year you took that hard hit on the back wall. Is that right?
No, that was my cousin, Steven.
Oh, okay, Steven Turner. Okay, I got you guys mixed up. So definitely an exciting race with the 99. You had to do what you had to do. Yep. Got yourself a top 3. Who do you want to thank on the 79 ride?
BH Builders, Russell's Masonry. My cousin Steven helps me some. Chip. My daughters are here. My girlfriend is usually here. She's not tonight, but they're always supporting me. Everybody else, thanks a lot for coming.
All right, folks, that'll do it for Roadrunner Top 3. Ken Turner, Noah McGrath, and Chip Farrington with win number 4 of 5 for the season. That'll wrap things up. Coastal Outlaws, Back up to you, Ken.
Here we go. Time to go late model racing. Roy and Ripley remain wheel to wheel down the first circuit into turn number 3. Brent Roy shakes off the challenge now. Ripley will try to settle in into second. There's Pat Murphy in the 86, finally able to get out on the track. Silas Ripley putting on the pressure now, settles to 0-9 down into second, just ahead of Alex Waltz in the 00. Then the 24 of Jonathan Emerson gives chase. They'll go single file. Then back behind them, we're double file with Connor Wenners on the outside in the 4 car, racing the 88 of David Getchell. That is for 5th. Emerson able to get underneath the 00 Waltz to take over 3rd. Top drivers trying to pick their way through traffic, nearly 3 wide into turn number 3. The 47 backs out of it. David Getchell in the 88 having a hard time holding that bottom lane. And Chris Burgess chomping on the bit, but wisely not stuffing that 47 car in there. In the meantime, lead pair pulling away a little bit. Emerson all alone in 3rd. Then comes Connor Wenners in the 4. Alex Waltz now shuffled back to 5th in the double zero. Again 3 wide into turn number 1. Getschultz having handling issues, and Frank Moulton pays the price. Moulton's losing several positions. Frank Moulton got caught in behind that 88 car, and he lost about 5 positions in the process. In the meantime, apologies to the lead pair, but Silas Ripley took away the lead from Brent Roy. I missed it as that 3 wide action was going on. Brent Roy back to 2nd now. Then comes the 24 of Emerson. They're being chased down by the 4 of Winners. Everybody ganging up on that double zero of Alex Waltz. Harding able to get out around him. Now goes Tiger Colby. And Chris Burgess picked the wrong lane. Now able to jump up to the outside. Silas Ripley, the young son of Darren Ripley, stretching out his lead as we stay under green. Brent Roy trying to get his first podium. Emerson in good shape as well. Winners waits in 4th. Daniel Harding using that 86 car as a pick. Tiger Colby's going to make it 3 wide into turn 3. Everybody working their way around that 86 of Pat Murphy. Colby from deep in the field has raced his way into 6th. Started this race back in 15th. Daniel Harding holding down the 5th position in the number 38, but now being hounded by Tiger Colby. Colby tries to stick a fender underneath but can't do it. We are halfway. 20 down, 20 to go. Colby, oh, somebody goes up in smoke into turn number 1. That is Chris Burgess. Something broke on the 47. Pace car heading in, and green flag is back out. Brent Roy hanging tough up on the high side of Silas Ripley. Front 8 cars all packed up tight. Ripley able to wrestle it away and retake the lead. Roy 2nd. Connor Winners working the high side in the number 4 car. Winners pulls up alongside Brent Roy. They'll go wheel to wheel for 2nd. And here comes Tiger Colby. Ripley with a somewhat comfortable cushion. Winters takes second, opens up the high side. Colby's got some open racetrack on the high lane. He'll quickly pull up alongside the 4 car. Tiger Colby races out around the 4, sets his sight on the kid up front. Silas Ripley closes it up a couple car lengths already. Colton Shabak heads down pit road. Check that, the 15 of Frank Moulton heads down pit road. Tiger Colby now peeking up on the high side of the race leader. A strong and patient race for the young man in the number 78 up on the high side. Colby from 15th and into the lead as they come around to finish lap 30. 10 laps to go. Colby already pulling away several car lengths on the race leader, 0.8 of a second. Yeah, something definitely up with the 25 of Will Collins. He's still way back in 13th, in danger of finishing outside the top 10 for the first time this season. Colby still the fastest on the track right now. Another big mover of the race is in that 05. Brett Osmond started back in 13th, and Osmond is now running in 4th. Brent Roy is shuffled back to 5th, but now outside the top 5. As Jonathan Emerson takes that spot from him. 5 laps to go. The handle finally going away on that 26 for Brent Roy. Strong in the early going, but he has faded. Colby now starting to get into some lap traffic. Got the 17 of Chris Matchett up ahead. And this time by will be 2 laps to go. 2 to go on the 78 of Tiger Colby. Got a battle developing for 3rd. Connor Winters has it. And now Brett Osmond has it. Osmond able to sneak by into the 3rd position. White Laundry, final time around. Into turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag is ready to fly. Tiger Colby will get the win, 2nd in a row.
But this guy's gonna climb out. Tiger Colby, would love to hear you make some noise. Jeez. All right, Tiger Colby. All right, it is not a maybe we should slow it down. Like, we have to slow this car down. This is insane. You've been here 4 weeks. You got 3 wins and 1 second place.
I can't believe it. This has been a heck of a year, and you know what? I just couldn't do it without my mom, my dad, my grandfather, and my mammy, and Distance Chassis. He makes a heck of a car. Just if you want to go fast, you must build one.
All right, Tiger Colby, heck of a job tonight. Any other sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Nervous Ticks. I got to thank Rhubar's Redemption, Colby's Auto Center and Tire, and I got to thank BNS Video.
All right, this thing is on rails. The number 78, Tiger Colby. Oh, and Silas Ripley. Some news has just been brought to my attention. Hey, Ken, you know how we were debating how old he was?
Is today his birthday or something?
Today's his birthday. Whatever age we said, it's 1 year more than that. So, Silas, how old are you today?
I'm 13 right now, and then 2 days is my birthday, so I'm going to be 14 in 2 days.
All right, 14 years old in a couple days. Silas, you've gotten 1 second already, right? You're matching your best career late model run tonight. Heck of a job.
Thank you. I would like to thank Mom, Dad, Olivia, Mason, Thomas, Ryan Ledbetter, Ryan Ripley, Gramp, Mark, Nene, Graham, Amaya, Denise, Renee, Joe, and mainly Concrete Pumping. That's it.
Must have felt pretty good to lead quite a few laps, huh?
Yeah, the bleeders on the caution just set down, so I had soft tires, so it's just sliding everywhere.
So after that last restart, it wasn't quite the same as the first half?
Yeah, because the tire was feeling flat, so it was loose everywhere.
All right, heck of a run, Silas. Still seeking that first win, but he's got 2 late model career second place runs to his resume now in his rookie season. And then we've got the 05 of Brett Osman, who at noon today made up his mind that he was going to actually come race. So this morning you didn't even think you were racing today?
No, we were in Bar Harbor camping, and we tried going to Acadia, and we drove around for 3 hours, couldn't find a parking spot, and so I was like, this is a joke, I want to go racing. So I called my dad, told him to load it up. We haven't even touched the car since last race, so we kind of had what we had, put a new tire on it. Car's really good. I think I need a little more to keep up with Tiger. He had a better lane at the end on the restart, but I don't think it would have mattered anyway. But yeah, we had a great car tonight.
All right, Brett. Oh, yeah, and congratulations to you and your dad on the big Super Street 100 win last week. Who do you want to thank on this team?
First of all, I got to thank my dad, Coastal Race Fabrication, Warren Sons Construction, Cahill Tire, Laid Back Lumber, McCain Electric. I feel like I'm forgetting someone else again. Ace Well Service, Coastal Automotive, Red's Eats, my mom, my girlfriend. I had Matt Bailey in the pits today. Andy Carroll helped us a little bit too. And Peter Turner just showed up. He always comes, but he didn't think I was racing, so obviously, And Steve Ward too, but he wasn't here because nobody planned on me racing tonight. So just thank you, everybody.
All right, that'll do it. Brett Osman wraps up the top 3. Silas Ripley with runner-up honors. Tiger Colby with win number 3 of the season.
We are off and running. Good jump for Jeff Farrington. Drives around the 12 and into the lead. Kimball settles it into second, side by side for third between DePietro and Willett. Wyatt sounded like more issues under the hood of that number 3. Another driver that was here in the pit, but only made it through part of practice, and more issues was the 16 of Ian Frazier. Jeff Farrington's got a handful of late Thunder 4 mini wins, but searching for his first Outlaw mini win. But Jason Kimball will put an end to those hopes, at least for the time being. Farrington will be knocked back to second. DePietro still sounding like he's got issues under the hood of that machine. Zach Audette, who's not here, he has sold his car after 3 feature wins and obviously will give up the point lead tonight in the process. Kyle Willett looking to go back-to-back in the 0-8. He'll take over the point lead after tonight. Jason Kimball trying to become the 4th different winner in this class this year. Audette had 3 wins. Willett with 2 wins. Jimmy Childs with 1 win. This time by halfway, 10 laps down, 10 laps to go. Up until last race 2 weeks ago, Jason Kimball had run all the first 4 races, but had to miss the last race because of a family or friend's wedding, and ended up dropping him outside the top 3 in the points. But as I said, looking to become the 4th different winner this season. For Wyatt DePietro in that 3 car, it'll be just a moral victory if that car mechanically is able to perform through the entire 20-lap race. We'll have 5 laps to go. This time by 2 laps to go on the number 12. Kimball with time to carefully pick his way by that number 3 car as he's got a half straightaway lead. Final time around, 3/8 of a mile to go. Kimball will get the win as the checkers fly. Jeff Farrington will match his personal best in second.
All right, so once again, folks, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for you guys that stuck it out to the very end. And this guy certainly, Jason Kimball, is going to be glad to have some fans. So let him hear you make some noise, folks. Jason Kimball in the 12X. All right, Jason, first win of the season. I'm sure car owner Pete McCullough's going to be pretty happy, huh?
We've had quite a road ahead of us, but I think we're finally getting there. I got to thank everybody that works and helps us out, and we wouldn't be here without them.
Jason, any other sponsors on the 12X you want to thank?
Yeah, we gotta thank Gill's Body Shop, A Better Lawn Care, Fowler's Roofing and Construction, Moody Builders, Allard Auto Glass, Goggins IGA, and the Bud Bar.
All right, there you have it. Jason Kimball, first win of the season for the Outlaw Minis. And Jeff Farrington with another second place run. Super fine job, Jeff. Hoping to see you up there holding the checkered flag here shortly.
I was trying. I figured the only chance I had on them was get a good jump on the start, and they just got a lot more knowledge than me. I'm getting there. Thanks for everybody showing up.
All right, Jeff, any sponsors you want to rattle off on the 0X?
Rhubarb's Redemption, China Redemption and Variety, True North Surveying, Amber, Willow, Alder, Banyan, and my dad, Nelson, for helping out in the pits, and thanks for all the fans for keeping this place going.
All right, thank you, Jeff Farrington, for your support of the Outlaw Mini Class. And now, I got some questions for this guy because it's definitely a different car, but it's got his Outlaw Mini wheels on it. Tell us the story. You had a mishap in the heat race and swapped cars, slapped some duct tape on it.
Actually, yeah. I had engine failure. So, thanks for friends like this. He got me a backup car. Here I am. Thanks, everybody.
But tell me how your last few hours have been because this car wasn't here, right? So you guys had to run to Skowhegan and grab it or something?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it all started, I thought it was a rear main seal, so I took the tranny out of my other car, and a lot of work went into this, and then all of a sudden a car shows up. So, really big thanks to him. So.
All right, Mr. Excitement, such a nice guy. Keeping Kyle Willett in the points lead for the Outlaw Mini Class. And that'll do it with our Outlaw Mini Top 3. And wrap up Coastal Auto Parts Napa Victory Lane for the final time this evening. Ken, why don't you send us home with some kind words?
All right, thank you once again, Nick Huff, and thank you, as he said. Thank you guys all for sticking around tonight and filling up this place as always, having a good time. As we always challenge you to do, next time you come here, grab another friend, bring them along, maybe somebody that hasn't been to the races for a while, or maybe hasn't been there at all. Let's start getting some new fans into this sport and filling up these grandstands. So that's my challenge to you guys. And we'll all see you next week. The pit gates open at 1. Grandstands 3 o'clock for the season ticket holders. 4 p.m. for general admission. Green flag flies on all the action at 5 p.m. next week for Group 1, presented by Hancock Lumber. One final time on behalf of Richard and Vanessa Jordan and the entire staff here at Wiscasset Speedway, thank you guys for coming. Appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your weekend. Good night.